Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 520 based on novel. So let's start. Not good. At this moment, Xiao Yan just felt that something was wrong. His expression suddenly shrank, the whole body ignited an endless breath of flame, and a flash shot towards the direction of the color sky. Kaelin is now limited by the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python, so he can't give up any of his own power at all. Kaelin in such a state, in the eyes of the evil clan outside the realm, is like a weak woman who has no power to hold a chicken, and can be killed at will. If you are hit by this guy, I am afraid the end will be extremely miserable. Tear. This petite demon baby just flew towards Kaelin, and along the way, an ugly mouth with ferocious fangs appeared, but his attack did not cause any hindrance to Kaelin. Because at this time, in front of Kaelin, a dazzling orange-gold flame rose slowly, forming a thick fire barrier that intercepted the petite body of the demon baby in the void. Even at some distance, the demon baby could smell a moving heart palpitation from it. Such flames are too powerful. Holy flame! The demon baby's evil offensive was actually ejected by Xiao Yan's flames. Immediately, its white and tender toes stood across the void of the altar, and deep fangs gushed out from its face, looking at Xiao Yan with some fear. The breath of this human being seems to be more terrifying than anyone he has ever dealt with before. Nine-tailed clan, shouldn't the strongest person be the patriarch who entered here before? That guy has already turned into his own food, and now Xiao Yang's strength is even more terrifying than the patriarch of the nine-tailed clan. Are you alright? When the attack was resolved, Xiao Yan reprimanded with a stern face. Dai Qi, who was on the side, saw this scene and couldn't help but understand some of the delicate relationship between the two. I'm fine. This guy should be in control of a special soul-controlling technique, be careful. Kaelin's head swayed for a while, only to feel that her soul had just suffered a lot of trauma, and she immediately retreated to the side with Daeki. Big sister, will brother Xiao Yang be in danger? This guy is very strong. It seems that due to some genetic power of the six tails, there is a seriousness on Dai Qi's pretty face. She can feel the strange power that penetrates the soul of the demon baby, so she is very worried about Xiao Yang's situation. Don't worry, this guy is strong. Kaelin didn't have any worries about Xiao Yang's strength. Her beautiful eyes slowly looked at the stone statue of the nine-tailed demon fox in a quiet state, as if she wanted to find some clues about the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. Master of the holy flame. Then I'll play with you. Boom. The voice just fell, and around the demon baby, a series of slightly illusory invisible forces spread out like a barren. It turned out that this space was filled with traces of decay and corrosion. The strength of the pinnacle of the fifth layer reincarnation. The magic here. The fifth demon suppression prison, the soul demon evil infant prison. Are you the half-evil from outside the realm who was suppressed, the evil-eyed demon baby? Through some simple judgments, Xiao Yang finally determined the true identity here. It's not small. The dark eyes of the evil-eyed demon baby Jiu Bo's calm eyes flashed with a strange light that captivated people's hearts. This ray of light is powerful, but Xiao Yang smelled a very dangerous aura from it. The strength of this guy's mere five-fold reincarnation rank, combined with the soul power that has just stepped into the immortal ascension realm, the soul power that he unleashes actually makes him feel the slightest fear. This guy's attainment of soul power is extremely powerful, several times stronger than himself. Evil eyes. The evil-eye demon infant also seemed to sense that the flames on Xiao Yang's body were not simple. A pair of dark pupils, the whole body is filled with a penetrating gloomy air, and there are countless evil bloodshots in the pupils. Even if you look at it a little, the soul power in the body will tremble. Immediately, the 8-story spiritual palace in Xiao Yang's body surged together, and it seemed that he felt a great threat. The steady stream of soul energy spread out, filling the space here vaguely. It is indeed a powerful soul manipulation technique. Xiao Yang looked at the evil eyes in front of him, the soles of his feet slammed into the void, and suddenly an invisible ripple of soul roared and boiled. After that, even Kaelin felt that a strong sense of oppression slowly swept through Xiao Yang's body and spread out. The void behind Xiao Yang slowly became twisted, and a pair of flaming eyes, whose whole body was protected by flames, stood quietly behind him. From a distance, it seems to be extremely ordinary, but the holy flame eyes that have been transformed into the extreme shelter of holy flame are not simple people. You are also the soul power of the immortal ascension realm? Interesting. It's really interesting. At this moment, the face of the evil-eyed demon baby suddenly became strange and greedy. At the same time, the void in front of the evil-eyed demon baby suddenly spun, and a huge black vortex emerged without warning. In the vortex, the monstrous demonic energy permeated the sky, and inside it was an incomparably huge white bone corpse. Above the corpse, in the black skull, slowly revealed a very gloomy aura. Note: looking at this scene, the evil eye demon baby sneered, and those evil eyes that contained enormous coercion slowly injected into the eyes of the black skull. In an instant, this skeleton seemed to come alive in an instant, with a touch of spiritual coercion flashing all over the body. The white bones and the skeleton head were surrounded by countless dark rays of light. Infiltrate. From a distance, it looked like an evil corpse beast that had just crawled out of hell, exuding a terrifying wave that made one's heart palpitate. Even that kind of fluctuation is different from any evil powerhouse Xiao Yan has dealt with before, because it is the fluctuation of soul power. What a terrible soul manipulation ability. Seeing this scene, Xiao Yan's eyes moved slightly. My soul power is several times stronger than that of the evil-eyed demon baby. However, in the manipulation of soul power, I only use it on refining medicinal pills. For attacking soul methods, Xiao Yan can almost be said to be an outsider. Soul, the spirit of an evil corpse. The evil-eyed demon baby's expression was indifferent, as if he was slowly sketching out some kind of terrifying destruction attack. This half-evil is such a terrifying method. Kalin turned his head in the distance. Naturally, he was able to perceive the terrifying pressure that pervaded the giant skeleton figure. The power of soul attack is invisible and colorless, making it hard to guard against. Sacred flame eyes. Seeing this scene, Xiao Yan didn't hesitate. The eye of holy flame slowly crossed the void and blasted away at the giant skeleton shadow. Kill. The evil-eyed demon infant looked at Xiao Yan's scene with a grim smile on his face, and immediately let out a cold word. I saw that in the originally calm void, bursts of faint energy ripples suddenly swayed, and a soul beam that was almost perfectly integrated with the void flickered out. The space was torn apart instantly, and between the silence, it turned out to be filled with a stream of energy. Terrible destructive power that rips everything apart. Soul attack, invisible and colorless, almost impossible to catch with the naked eye, let alone resist it. The powerful soul attack that emerged from the giant skeleton shadow hit Xiao Yan's direction without any deviation. Suddenly Xiao Yan's eyes shrank slightly, his entire body seemed to be hit hard by a force of nothingness, and his entire body shrank violently in an instant. Go down, it looks terrifying. Xiao Yan. Seeing such a bizarre scene, Cai Lin couldn't help snorting coldly, and the slender jade hand actually twisted directly, as if she wanted to use the power of the 10-color swallowing python to make a move. With such terrifying power, Xiao Yan would still be shriveled in the hands of the evil-eyed demon baby. This is almost impossible. Nice soul power. It's a pity. Crack. Although Xiao Yan's body was slightly damaged, it was as if nothing had happened, and it did not affect Xiao Yan's shot at all. During the change of the handprints, a short distance traveled through the space to display the handprints. In the blink of an eye, the injured Xiao Yan's figure suddenly turned into a white mist and disappeared here. In the blink of an eye again, the figure as fast as a ghost appeared around the evil-eyed demon baby, waving with power all over his body, instantly ignoring the blockage of the giant skeleton shadow, and the holy flame's eyes silently facing the evil-eyed demon baby who was close at hand. Suppressed, wiped away. Do not. At this moment, the evil-eyed demon infant's face was filled with an unbelievable look, looking at Xiao Yan with a terrified expression. The guy he just hit was just a soul clone. Moreover, although the soul attack that Xiao Yan is using now is not powerful, the divine power that combines the 7 kinds of holy flames makes the evil-eyed demon baby feel the icy aura of death for the first time. Boom! A scorching flame storm swept out, and the silhouette of the giant skeleton and the evil-eyed demon infant were instantly wiped out by it. After all, the difference in strength and the pressure of the holy flames caused it to have no struggle. Room. Bang! After the two bodies were completely wiped out, a dark aura of black light escaped everywhere, and immediately a majestic swallowing power from Xiao Yang's body actually completely filled the space. These breaths are a bit weird, so don't rush to swallow them. Seeing this, Kalin was a little worried. Don't worry, it won't trouble me. After speaking, he purifies and devours it away, but the power of the soul that is as powerful as the evil-eyed demon baby who has just entered the ascension boundary, for Xiao Yan today, the increase can be said to be minimal. Chance. The matter has been resolved, and the 9-tailed stone statue can be called. When Xiao Yan finished handling the matter, he turned his head to look at Dai Chi. Dai Chi nodded, and then an illusory 9-tailed fox shadow crawls out from behind the delicate body. Just after its action fell, the stone statue that looked like a dead thing suddenly glowed in front of her body, an ancient wave since ancient times, little by little. Recovering. Ancestor. Dai Chi's whole body seemed to be suppressed by countless gravity. As the girl's voice fell, in the entire mirror world, a desolate voice from the ancient times suddenly came out, which vaguely affected the heartstrings of the three. It seems that under this kind of sound, the souls in their bodies were slightly shaken by it, and for a moment there was a hazy feeling of sleep. It seems that everything in front of you is too illusory, like a beautiful dream. Nine-tailed demon fox. Until these forces converged, a dignified and elegant figure of energy emerged from the stone statue of the altar. The appearance and figure of this woman are actually the same as the nine-tailed demon carved from the stone statue, and even more vivid and eye-catching. The woman was wearing a snow-white robe and skirt. The appearance on her pretty face was different from Kaylin's high coldness. Instead, it was full of charming and enchanting fluctuations. It seemed that between her frown and smile, there was a kind of the subtle power slowly spread out, quietly eroding and controlling the minds of everyone. If you don't pay attention a little, I'm afraid it will be controlled by its soul-snatching. Senior, you have profound spiritual attainments. Suddenly, Xiao Yang's whole body was surging, and then he shook his head in a clever way, and said with admiration in his heart. The figure in front of him should be just a residual energy clone, but Xiao Yang was able to vaguely perceive the precise strength of the ancient monster, the nine-tailed demon fox. It should be around the 6th level of reincarnation. Although the latter's soul power may have just stepped into the immortal ascension realm, Xiao Yang is still envious of such a unique method of soul control. Now on Xiao Yang, the fire attribute possessed holy flame, and the fire element fighting skills were naturally not to worry about. The thunder attribute possessed the Thunder Emperor Temple, the water element, the wood element, and even the soul power, which Xiao Yang lacked. Those who can reach the top immortality category are almost priceless, which makes Xiao Yang quite troubled. After all, although the various attributes are good, the resources and time that need to be invested in them are much more than others. Of course, effort and return are directly proportional. Do you control the younger generation of Saint Flame? The nine-tailed demon fox woman looked at Xiao Yang below with soft eyes and said softly. But even with the latter's attitude, the words were filled with a soft temptation, and if the concentration is not enough, I am afraid it is easy to follow the latter's way. Ancestor, we are here for your inheritance, and your tyrannical weapon. Looking at the nine-tailed demon fox woman who stood aloof in front of her, Dai Chi had a stubborn look on her little face, and she even resisted the blood pressure in the demon beasts a little bit and said. She knew very well that if she wanted to improve her status in the demon world, she had to improve her strength first. And this strength, I am afraid that only the inheritance of the nine-tailed demon fox can. I think you are talented, but my inheritance is not something that anyone can easily obtain. The nine-tailed woman spoke freely, and her words seemed to be filled with helplessness. Ancestor, I can do it. At this moment, Dai Chi showed a different scene from the past, gently stretched out her slender jade hand, and probed towards the position of the nine-tailed woman, trying to resist the pressure in her blood, showing her determination. Before deciding on the inheritance I left behind, there is one more thing. The ancestral motto of our nine-tailed clan has never accepted outsiders. Let alone the disorganized nine-tailed blood on your body, just the two people around you seem to be unkind. As soon as he finished speaking, the entire void suddenly became distorted, the nine-tailed woman's eyes twitched quietly, as if some strange power was blooming, and she looked at Xiao Yang and the two with some vigilance. At the same time, the two of them were filled with a very severe oppression, which caused her to feel an inexplicable agitation with the power left over. This kind of fluctuation, not everyone can have it. Senior really has good eyesight. Although we are not members of the Ninetails clan, we have had a deal with the elder Qingwan, so we didn't break into this place rashly. I came here with a request. Xiao Yang's brows stretched out, touching Kaylin's delicate body, and he said word by word. I don't know what's the matter with you. Hearing Xiao Yang say this, the nine-tailed girl also narrowed her eyes slightly. I don't know if Senior knows this kind of thing. This is the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. Immediately, the nine-tailed woman exclaimed, her beautiful eyes filled with a rare shock, as if she saw something that made her fearful. 10-colored swallowing python? Hearing the words of the nine-tailed woman, Dai Chi's small face was livid, her delicate body twisted stiffly, and a look of fear appeared in her eyes, and she couldn't help but project the color scales away. I saw the colorful rays of light slowly lingering around Kaylin's body at this time, and at the moment of watching, a blood pressure from the superiors made Dai Chijiao's body shake. That majestic bloodline pressure seems to be able to easily crush him. It seems that the person standing in front of him now is no longer a cold woman at all, but a terrifying existence with a violent monster residing in his body. How can you have this kind of power in you? The nine-tailed woman had a solemn expression, her eyes shrank tightly, and she stared at Kaylin, even her tone of voice became utterly amazed. I am the king of the Medusa family, and by chance, I got a trace of the power of the colorful swallowing python. Kaylin and Xiao Yang looked at each other, and there was no evasion in their beautiful eyes, and they directly faced each other. 10-colored swallowing python. I never thought that my soul clone could see such an ancient beast. After a while, the nine-tailed woman narrowed her beautiful eyes and twisted her palms gently, as if she was urging something. Boom! With the display of the handprint of the nine-tailed woman, Kaylin suddenly had a monstrous vicious aura creeping out. The 10-colored halo just emerged, and it turned into a 10-colored snake shadow under the gaze of several people. On top, through those colorful energy halos, Xiao Yang could see that the 10-colored snake scales on the snake shadow's body seemed to be slowly twisting and falling off. But under such circumstances, Kaylin, who was always calm, was covered in sweat on his forehead, and his delicate body could not help trembling. Even his eyes and soul seemed to be swallowed up by some kind of creature, trying to control his own. All mind. Senior, is there a way to break it? Seeing Kaylin's appearance, Xiao Yang asked in a slightly distressed manner. The power of the 10-colored sky swallowing python. It should be eating away at your power, your vitality, right? Even the accompanying snake spirit in your body was devoured by it. Is what I said wrong? After a simple test, the eyes of the nine-tailed woman became brighter. Obviously, she still knew something about the 10-colored sky swallowing python, and in just a moment, she deduced some problems. What the senior said is very true. At this moment, Kaylin couldn't help but look at the nine-tailed woman a few more times. Obviously, these things that she had tried so hard to hide were all seen by her at a glance. The nine-tailed demon fox really lived up to its reputation. What? All the accompanying snake spirits were swallowed? Why didn't you mention such a big thing to me? Hearing the words of the nine-tailed woman, Xiao Yang's chest suddenly filled with anger, and his eyelids couldn't help beating violently. For the Medusa family, the importance of the accompanying snake spirit is self-evident, and it is comparable to the existence of the human heart. The accompanying spiritual snakes were all swallowed up by the power of 10 colors. This is probably a disaster for Kaylin. After all, the key to the advancement and transformation of the Medusa family is to rely on the accompanying spiritual snakes. Is obviously the key to curb Kaylin's strength promotion and life safety. You have too many things on your shoulders. I don't want you to worry too much. I'm fine. Kaylin's teeth bit the corner of her lips slightly, and a trace of the power of 10 colors was slowly pressed into her body. However, Kaylin's body kept trembling. Obviously, such an easy move would cost a lot of money. Are you all right? Isn't that the next time we see you, you've already... How do you ask me to explain to Xiao Xiao and the others? Looking at the two people who suddenly quarreled in front of them, the nine-tailed woman and Daeki couldn't help looking at each other. Okay, isn't this person still in trouble? You have come here, and you have come to the right place. Although it can't be completely solved here, it's okay to temporarily ease the delay. The face of the nine-tailed woman changed slightly, and then her eyes were fixed on this mirrored space. I also asked the senior to show it clearly. Xiao Yang nodded. This is the soul forging method of this seat. Forging it with the soul can temporarily suppress the power of the 10 colors in her body, but if you want to solve it completely, I am afraid you have to go to the center of the demon world, but that place, I am afraid you can only rely on your own good fortune. After all, that place, not even the world master can enter it. The memory of the nine-tailed woman seems to be rather incomplete. When she mentioned the center of the demon world, her whole person became strange. Go. Soul. Forge. In the originally calm mirrored void, bursts of invisible energy ripples suddenly emerged. The majestic soul energy was different from the soul power that Xiao Yang had displayed before. The strange power unique to the tail girl. The power just poured out, and it was easy to completely transform this place into a lake of souls. Kaylin's body was slightly suspended in the air, and then countless unreachable soul fluctuations flew towards her delicate body. There was a puff of smoke. However, under the actions of the nine-tailed woman, the colorful snake shadow dormant above her delicate body was disintegrated and shattered little by little. Tear. In an instant, the 7-color light and 10-color power on Kaylin's body continued to blend, as if they were engaged in some kind of silent fight. The power of the 7-colored sky swallowing python was completely controlled by Kaylin as early as in the Dochi continent, But the difference between the 10-colored sky-swallowing python and the 7 colors seems to be only the power of 3 colors. The difference is like a gulf. What? This kind of time has lasted for a long time, during which Kaelin has been sticking to his heart. No matter how terrible this soul-forging method is, there is no trace of fear in the slightest. After a short while, Kaelin was surprised. Among the limbs and bones in the body, the fighting spirit, the power of reincarnation, that had already been sealed and solidified by the power of 10 colors, actually showed a slow flow of traces at this time. The 9-tailed woman's soul-forging method actually temporarily curbed the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. Even if it's only temporary, you must know that Kaelin has spent countless resources in order to curb the spread and erosion of the power of 10 colors, but there is no way it works. Xiao Yang's soul force was always watching the situation on Kaelin's body, watching the latter change. His clenched fists could not help loosening. Such a terrifying cold and vicious power. The danger was temporarily resolved for Kaelin, but the energy phantom around the 9-tailed woman seemed even more illusory, as if it would completely dissipate here at any time. Obviously, the seemingly simple method of soul forging just now consumed almost all the remaining power. Thank you, Senior. Kaelin slowly fell to the ground, feeling the slowly recovering power in her body, her lips and teeth surging immediately. At the time of the Endless Fire territory, Kaelin secretly tried many methods, but was unable to contain the power of Shutsai. Now that the 9-tailed woman is so easy to resolve, this guy's strength should not be underestimated. There shouldn't be any problems in a short time. Next, it's my inheritance and my hegemony. As soon as the voice fell, the 9-tailed stone statue resting on the altar suddenly buzzed, and a majestic and terrifying energy rose into the sky. The gentle snow-white light slowly tilted down from the 9-tailed woman. Suddenly, this energy clone seemed to have exhausted the last trace of strength. The entire figure became illusory, dimmed, and completely dissipated after a while. The snow-white light burst down from the position where the figure disappeared, and swept directly towards the 9-tailed stone statue at a terrifying speed, like an energy key opening the treasure inside the stone statue. In just a moment, a strong tremor spread from the stone statue, as if the 9-tailed woman's last strength summoned some ancient things hidden in the stone statue. Above the 9-tailed stone statue, the whole body trembled, and after a while, 2 ancient objects emerged from the inside of the stone statue, suspended in mid-air, slowly blooming with an ancient terrifying aura. Looking up, it was a pure snow-white ball of light, which seemed to contain a terrifying and enchanting monster power, and a faint 9-tailed phantom was entrenched on it, as if guarding this huge and profound power. This kind of thing is obviously the power of inheritance left by the 9-tailed demon fox. If there is no blood of the 9-tailed fox family, it is difficult for outsiders to obtain. As for Daeki, although the latter is not a member of the 9-tailed clan, he has the teachings of the 6 tails under the Sholong Lang. It is not difficult to swallow nature, and the goal is probably this inheritance. Lord Xiao Yang, this thing. Dai Chi stared at Xiao Yang and the two of them, and hurriedly asked. The inheritance of this 9-tailed demon fox is the ultimate goal of his trip. You can take this thing. However, there are a lot of prejudices among the 9-tailed clan. In addition, this place is full of endless demonic energy, and the evil aura in the demon suppression prison has already been wiped out. It is better to retreat here and realize it. It is also a good thing. Xiao Yang looked at Dai Chi with such a serious look, shook his head slightly and said, naturally, this kind of opportunity would not be forcibly deprived. The chance of inheritance at this level is not very useful to Xiao Yang, who is currently at the 6th level of reincarnation. Thank you, Sir Xiao Yang. When Dai Chi heard the words, her face was full of joy, and she quietly stretched out her hand to grasp the dazzling snow-white light group. There were also some near-homologous forces in her body, surging together. Without any hesitation, Dai Chi sat cross-legged directly, urging the power of the bloodline of the monster in the body to devour and absorb the inheritance. Seeing Dai Chi's happy appearance, Xiao Yang had no choice but to shake his head, then turned to look at another light group above the stone statue. On the other side is a stone box. The box is only the size of an arm, but the whole body is tightly closed, and countless pairs of compound eyes are depicted on the whole body. If there is no accident, what is hidden in it is the 9th-ranked tyrant among the top 10 tyrants in the demon world, the Eye of the Demon Soul. This thing. Xiao Yang gently grasped it in his hand, and a hot soul touch came out. A tyrant has such a terrifying power, and if it is combined with some powerhouses who use the pupil technique, the power will be heart-stopping. I don't need to, and you promised others. Kaelin seemed to sense some of Xiao Yang's careful thoughts, and directly shook his head and refused. Kaylin knew Xiao Yang's thoughts. Zuna had the five-legged golden crow and the holy flame. Yun Yun was in control of the holy flame and the Taiji heavenly emperor sword. Shi and Mu Yingying were the only ones who had no divine weapon in their hands. Being rejected by Kaylin so shrewdly, Xiao Yang laughed dryly, and then put away the stone box of tyrannical weapons, and the other thoughts in his mind were instantly annihilated. I know what you mean, but this thing, I can't control it. This thing should be the ancestor of the nine-tailed clan, the eye of the accompanying demon soul of the nine-tailed demon fox. Although our Medusa clan can also use pupil techniques, but the spirits of the nine-tailed clan are mostly charming, and we are beautiful. What Dusha controls is the poison that is the most yin and evil in the world. The arrogance of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python doesn't seem to allow me to control this domineering weapon. Seeing Xiao Yang's rare kindness, Kaylin couldn't help but smile and told her situation. Well, the trip to the demon world, I don't know if I can help you find a handy artifact. Let's go. Okay, since the nine-tailed demon palace is over, let's go out first. Elder Qinghuan, fortunately not humiliated. Xiao Yang and Kaylin left the nine-tailed demon hall and returned to the high-rise building of the Stargating building in an instant, but at this time, in addition to nine-tailed Qinghuan, there were many nine-tailed powerhouses with bad looks. These powerhouses are all staring at themselves fiercely. Their strengths are all hovering around the first-level reincarnation level to the third-level reincarnation level, and they can be regarded as a powerful force in other places. For a while, the atmosphere here became very strange. It is indeed the eye of the demon soul. The old man thanked Xiao Yuzhu here. Nine-tailed Qinghuan quickly took the stone box handed over by Xiao Yang, and said happily after using their nine-tailed clan's secret techniques to explore. One more thing. The nine-tailed demon temple is actually the fifth demon suppression prison in the Great Thousand World. It suppresses a half-evil god. Your patriarch has fallen, and your body and spirit are all destroyed. Xiao Yang spoke with a hint of pity, obviously helping others to the end. The 10-color power in Kaylin's body has been temporarily suppressed by the nine-tailed demon fox. By doing so, he is indirectly helping her descendants. What nonsense! Listening to Xiao Yang's words, a group of strong men behind Jiuwei Qinghuan snorted coldly, and invisible energy fluctuations suddenly emerged from the void around the attic. Come here, drag me down and deal with it according to the clan's rules. Lord Xiao, you will be an honored guest of our nine-tailed clan in the future. If it is like this today, don't blame me for not being sympathetic. Just as Xiao Yang was about to make a move, he watched as black shadows with decent strength emerged, arresting a few powerhouses with bad eyes. Since this trip is over, we are not bothering anymore, farewell. Xiao Yang is also quite fond of Jiuwei Qinghuan's actions, but he has spent a lot of time here, and now the plan is to return to the Haisha Longwolf station as soon as possible. The power of the 10 colors will never end. Lord Xiao Yang, wait a minute, maybe I know how to suppress it completely, or refine this power and use it. Just as Ju-tailed Qinghuan and Xiao Yang said their goodbyes, Daiqi's figure suddenly swept out of the nine-tailed demon palace. The appearance of this voice made everyone look up and look away. With everyone's attention, a layer of snow-white light suddenly appeared on Dai Chijiao's body. Snow-white rays of light poured out, Daiqi's eyes flickered slightly, and he looked at Xiao Yang and everyone in front of him with a smile. That smile actually slowly contained an irresistible charming aura so fast. Xiao Yang looked at Daiqi's aura and frowned. Now, the feeling that the latter gave Xiao Yang, although it was not dangerous, was definitely not to be underestimated. Daiqi, have you accepted the inheritance of Lord Ninetails? Looking at this scene, some of the nine-tailed high-level people around Ju-tailed Qinghuan were slightly moved. Well, it has been received. But this huge force cannot be refined for a while. After Daiqi finished speaking, there was an enchanting and charming aura in her beautiful eyes, and she stared at Xiao Yang again. Daiqi, what did you just say? Xiao Yang couldn't help speaking in a deep voice. I don't know, Sir Xiao Yang, but have you ever heard of one of the strange places in the demon world, the Four Elephants Cave? Butterfly prayed with beautiful eyes, and smiled. The Four Elephants Cave? Xiao Yang frowned slightly. When he heard these words, he seemed a little hesitant. Xiao Yang had already heard about the mystery of the Four Elephant Caves, but now that he said it from Daiqi's mouth, coupled with the complex color scales in his eyes, Xiao Yang couldn't help but feel a sense of astonishment. You actually know about the Four Elephant Caves? At this moment, on Kaylin's always calm and pretty face, a look of consternation could not help. There are countless rumors about the Xixiang Cave in our demon world, but we only know that it is the second strangest place in the demon world. It is also a place with countless opportunities and dangers. Dai Chi looked up at each other, looked at Kaylin quietly, and seemed to see through some of the thoughts in the latter's heart. Lord Xiao Yang, do you still remember the Demon Emperor? Dai Chi then continued to add. The 16th on the Holy Flame list, the owner of the heavenly demon fire. Memories poured out like spring water, and Xiao Yang blurted out instantly. At the beginning of the demon world, although Xiao Yang gained a lot of power from the Demon Emperor, such as the Demon Emperor's fighting skills, but the holy flame that was originally controlled by the Demon Emperor disappear. There are many rumors about the Four Elephants Cave. But according to the inheritance of the nine-tailed demon fox, there seems to be something in there that can be used to refine the power of 10 colors. There is a volume of prescriptions. Although the rank is only at the peak of the 8th rank heaven, it has a lot of magical effects on this adult. And relying on the inheritance of Lord Nine Tails, I seem to feel the existence of the prescription from this lord. When Dai Chi said this, she did not continue to talk, but quietly looked at the position of Kaylin. When Kaylin heard Dai Chi mention the word medicine, her originally peaceful body trembled slightly. Obviously, she could not imagine that the inheritance of the nine-tailed demon fox actually carried such a mystery. What about the prescription? At this moment, Xiao Yang's keen soul perception also sensed something and spoke directly. No. Kaylin shook her head slightly, her eyes shy. Take it out. No. After some inquiries, Kaylin nibbled his silver teeth lightly, and took out a yellowish ancient scroll from the ring. The peak of the 8th rank heaven level, the soul-melting pill of recovery, a sacred elixir that heals the power of the dead and fuses the soul. Xiao Yang directly controlled the prescription in his hand, and the majestic soul power tilted out, swept away the effects and other matters. There is still one last medicinal herb, but that kind of thing is too hard to find. At this moment, Kaylin obviously did not intend to continue to hide Xiao Yang, and her brows widened. What? Xiao Yang seemed to be aware, his brows furrowed. Magic core. Kaylin shook her head, but when she mentioned these two words, her chest felt numb. The refining of the 8th grade medicinal herbs no longer requires the magic core. It only needs to be refined with the power of heaven and earth. After all, Xiao Yang was a genuine 9th grade pharmacist, so he couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. But this prescription is different from ordinary medicine pills. Kaylin shook her head suddenly, obviously she had thoroughly researched the prescription. Wait, is this 7th level reincarnation class of peerless beasts and demon cores? His eyes were slightly fixed on the yellowish and simple prescription, and he glanced at some of the more obscure important places, but Xiao Yang's eyes shrank violently for the first time. Why didn't you say this earlier? Aware of Kaylin's concerns, Xiao Yang scolded with a stern face. It turns out that she has already found a way to heal and fuse the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. She just needs the magic core of the 7-layered reincarnation level beast. The demon core of the 7th layer reincarnation level beast is almost as terrifying as a demon emperor. Even with the current Xiao Yang, I am afraid that it is not sure that it can be successfully killed. The most important thing is that there is no trace of this super monster. It was impossible for Xiao Yang to find the demon emperor, and he said, lend your demon core to use it. Although the loss of the magic core will not make the demon emperor and other monsters and beasts completely fall, it will also hurt the source. If you want to cultivate and recover in the future, I am afraid that you will inevitably experience a catastrophe. In the Four Elephants Cave, is there such a peerless beast? Xiao Yang frowned, looking at the silent Kaylin beside him, feeling mixed for a while. There shouldn't be, but according to the records, where there is a quasi-7th level reincarnation rank ferocious beast, the heavenly evil blood tiger, it should be able to fill the vacancy of the 7th level reincarnation rank demon core. Dai Chi seemed to know a lot of things from the inheritance, and suddenly said with a heavy tone. Even a half-step 7-fold reincarnation rank monster beasts, the kind of supreme power that is enough to shake the world, if you are not careful, you can only fall sadly. No. It's too dangerous. After listening to Dai Chi's words, Cai Lin shook her head almost subconsciously. He knew Xiao Yang's style of conduct, and once there was any turning point and hope in this matter, he would go there recklessly. However, it is too dangerous to use Xiao Yang's current strength of the 6th reincarnation rank to deal with the peerless beasts of the 7th reincarnation rank. Among the reincarnation rank, after the 5th rank, let alone a rank, even if it is a small rank, the gap is like a gulf. You stay here. Xiao Yang frowned, and naturally he knew the magic power contained in the words quasi-7th reincarnation rank. Judging from his current strength, it is probably very difficult to handle. No, I'll go with you. After 3 struggles, Kaylin had no choice but to compromise. Go. Xiao Yan had no choice but to do so after considering three things. He took Kaylin's wrist and flew away toward the Xixiang cave. Leaving from the Jiwei clan, because of the specific coordinates of the Xixiang cave, Xiao Yang and the two were extremely fast, and in just a quarter of an hour, they arrived at the location of the Xixiang cave. Looking around, this place is a strange grey area, with countless dusty spots floating in the void vaguely forming a mysterious and complex pattern, which sets off the entire space magically. In the area, there is a lonely peak. The lush trees in the mountain peak are extremely strange. The mountain wind blows, and the fragrance of birds and flowers overflows, as if this is just a peaceful place. However, it was this difference from the normal dead silence that made Xiao Yang, who had always been quiet, become serious. With his perception of danger all the year round, it is often in this situation that there are very dangerous creatures hidden. It is said that one of the entrances to the Xixiang cave is here, but for countless years, very few strong people have entered the Xixiang cave. Among them, there are probably countless mysterious things. Above the tall and straight mountain, two voices suddenly fell, and a silent figure appeared here quietly. Xixiang cave, Qinglong, Vermilion bird, Xuanwu white tiger. I just don't know which entrance of the 4 elephants is here. As soon as the words fell, the two of them were extremely fast, and they crossed the mountain at will and moved in it. Wherever they passed along the way, a group of hot flames lingered down, as if they were looking for the entrance to it. However, with the arrival of the two, this slightly dead mountain also slowly released some unique breaths, as if some kind of creature was cheering the arrival of strangers. This video will end here.